Welcome to 45 on the Hour podcast. I'm your host, Colt 45, and this is Nobody Has It All Figured Out. Guys, everyone out there today thinks that everybody else has it figured out. And I can assure you that they don't. They don't. I know for a fact that I didn't, okay? And I know for a fact that I still don't have it all figured out. But what I do have is I have the acknowledgement that there could be somebody else out there that does. And I think when you don't have it figured out, right, and you realize that, then you need to go back to square one. You need to say, you know what? I need help with this. And I think that you need to find a proven mentor, someone that you look up to, someone that you admire that might have the right direction or have a majority of it figured out, and ask them for advice, okay? Everyone needs to have a proven mentor. Everyone needs to have someone that they seek towards, getting understanding from. I think that's important. So if you don't have it all figured out, or you don't know if you have it all figured out, once you accept that, then find a proven mentor. We're all just here trying to figure it out as people, okay? Just trying to survive through life. And I think that's just the way it is. I think, all of us are going through the same thing. Life's a mirror, not a window. Said that before. I just think that as you deal with yourself and others, going forward in these times are really hard, this day and age. And I think that you need to focus on being more aware that you just got to be more sensitive with people. All right. And the aspect that they're trying. Okay. And we all need to help each other. Okay. We're all one unit. We're all one strand of DNA together. And we need to start focusing on ourselves more and bringing people up with ourselves and making people feel better and be more supportive. I don't think that people are as supportive as they used to be back in the day. And I think that people nowadays are all about themselves. And I think we need to just start focusing on each other more. It takes a lot of courage to go down the pathway of trying to make it in this world and really trying to make it in life, just in general. And I think that if someone has the courage to try to better themselves, I think that we need to acknowledge that and just start telling people that you see what they're doing and you see that they're trying and you admire what they're doing and you admire their courage. All those things are going to help somebody get to the next level because you helping somebody else is going to help yourself. I know for a fact that years ago, like 2020, I was struggling big time with anxiety. I never knew what it was before I all of a sudden started getting these feelings of being overwhelmed and having a lot of pressure on my chest. And I mean, at one point I didn't even want to be around anymore. And I knew that I needed to make a change. I knew something was wrong. And at first I thought it was medical, and it wasn't. It was actually my brain. And when I realized that I didn't have it all figured out, and that was okay because I had a lot of pressure on me to figure it out because I didn't want to be like my father, and I wanted to be the better person for my kids. I decided that I had to figure it out, and I needed to get the advice from somebody else that seemed to have it figured out more than I did, and someone that I admired. So what I did is I got into self-help, and I started researching people that I looked up to, people that what they were saying made sense to me, and their character, the way that they showed themselves, it really mattered to me, how they perceived themselves and how the confidence and the aura that stemmed from them came. And they didn't sound arrogant, but they sounded confident. And when I started finding these people, I started finding solutions within myself to become a better person. And I started focusing on my purpose and what my purpose was. And after I figured out my why, which was my kids, then the how became easier. And the how was to do the actual action. Okay. So once you figure out your why, the how gets a whole lot easier. And at the time, it was self-help that I needed to focus on for me. So I was in this huge turning point in my life where I hit a breaking point and I needed to figure something out, and I needed to figure out how to help myself. And so I turned to people that had the solutions, and it actually did well for me. And it got me to the level where I'm at today. And this podcast wouldn't exist if it wasn't for those people. So yeah, I didn't have it figured out, and nobody does. And the sooner that you figure that out, the more gentle and understanding you can be with more people. And the more that you're more willing to help people in times of need, getting them to where they need to be at so that you can then better yourself. Because we all better each other. Energy is given and it's received. It's not the opposite. You don't just wait to receive energy. You have to give it first. So I just hope that people stop trying to believe that everyone knows what they're doing and they all got it figured out, like on Instagram or some sort of show on there. Half of that's a show, and we all know that. I just think that more people need to be honest with themselves. And I think that the way that you figure out your life and who you want to be and figuring out where you actually need to go is to just be honest with yourself, because your conscience understands and it knows when you're bullshitting yourself and when you're lying to yourself. And that's why you get those anxiety feelings, those feelings of feeling reckless and feeling out of place and not knowing a direction. It's because you're just not listening to your conscience. And we've talked about this before. Your conscience is that voice from God. That's what it is. If you don't have it figured out, you have to seek advice from a professional. Okay? You can message me and I'll direct you in the right path. You can read a book. You can ask somebody else. You can seek self-help. There's a bunch of different ways of doing things. Okay? And this doesn't just have to do with self-help. This can be in business. This could be in relationships. This could be learning from your kids, seeking a professional in children. There's all kinds of different ways of seeking advice, but you got to reach out. And I know a lot of you are sitting here right now, sitting at home, sitting in your room, thinking, man, what am I going to do with my life? This part, I don't have it figured out. Ask somebody. It costs $0. And most people that want to help you are going to help you for free. And I'll tell you why. Because people that see good in people, that want better for people, want you to do better than them. I want you to do better than me. I want that. I want that for everybody, because I know that if I want that for you, the energy is going to come back to myself. Okay? And it's going to come back to me in other blessings. Okay? I know that if I give that good grace to you and I want that better for you, it's going to feel better for me. Remember, guys, if you're sitting there and you're struggling and you don't know how to make money, or you're struggling with your relationships, or maybe failed relationships that just suck, and or your kids are not doing well, or they're being bad, like someone else is going through it. All right. Ain't no one have this thing figured out but the Lord himself. Okay. Nobody has it figured out. And the sooner that you accept it, you can put your worries onto him. Start seeking advice from people that know more about the area that you don't understand. Okay. Self-help is an area that I never focus on in my entire life. I always focus on how to make money, and that's it. That's all I cared about forever. I got to make money because money's going to give me everything I need. It's going to create all my happiness. And it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Money is a tool to help yourself feel better. But it's something that should be used to help other people feel better. Okay? The more you make, the more you should give back. The more you should help people. Okay? Money is something that comes and goes. Okay? And money will come when you don't care about it as much. When you start caring about the individuals more and helping the individuals more. That's when you're going to see more money. A lot of the most successful people in the world have made millions and been extremely successful by literally just focusing on the needs of others and solving a problem. Solving technically an emotional problem. The biggest value right now is making people feel better. Emotional care. And honestly, it's always going to be that way. When people feel better and they feel a value in their personal self and you make them feel better, that's the best thing you can give somebody is their life back. Stop being so hard on yourself, guys. This is a tough world we're in these days, and it's always going to feel a level of toughness, whether even if we get past this certain state of era that we're in, there will be another great era, but then there will be another bad era. It's always going to be an even flow. But the thing that you got to realize most is that give yourself a pat on the back every now and then. Give yourself a little bit of credit. Okay. Stop being so hard on yourselves. If you're out there and you're trying, I'm rooting for you. I commend you. Single moms, single dads, people struggling just to get by. I'm rooting for you. I'm your biggest fan. I want you to succeed. If you think no one does, I do. Because if you're succeeding, then you're just another testimony of someone that made it. Someone that never gave up. Somebody that got the will to get their butt off the floor and push forward. And if you're laying in bed right now and you're just immobilized and you're struggling, just know that you got to take a step and you got to get up and you got to move forward for everybody else. Because at the end of the day, we're all here to help each other. And if you realize that, the sooner you realize that, the sooner it's no more about yourself. Guys, you guys got to be selfless, not selfish. Hope you guys have a great day today. And until next time, get up, get after it, and get some.